So it's been about a year since my last video on my entire shoe collection, so it's time for a new one, and let's have a look at how much it's changed. And I've got to say, no one needs the amount of shoes that I've got in this video. I think I've got about 24 or 25 pairs, but some were gifted to me, some I've had for years, and some were just so irresistible that I couldn't help myself. But I've got a lot to get through, so I better get into it. If you like this video at any point, please feel free to drop it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into my 2023 shoe entire collection. So let's start off with one of my most worn sneakers of 2023, the Adidas Gazelle Indoor. Now I don't wear much colour, but I like the odd pop here and there, and these are perfect for that. People are definitely going to see me coming in these. But the style of shoe I go for these days is something with a slim silhouette, with a low profile that goes with pretty much anything. With anything would be better, but these tick all those boxes for me. And I was so glad to get my hands on this colorway because they sold out almost immediately when they were released. So once these are worn out, then it's going to be really difficult to get another pair of these, and sometimes I kind of like that. You can look back at old photos of you in your shoes and reminisce over the old times that you spent together, the good times. Anyone else do that? No? Just me? Okay, let's move on. Anyway, I love these shoes so much, and I love wearing these shoes, that I decided to pick them up in the blue colorway as well. These days, I don't usually pick up the exact same item of something in a different colorway, because I always find I wear one of them over the other a lot more, and that's exactly what happened with these. But yeah, I haven't actually worn the blue pair out the house at all yet, but I will do once the green pair have worn out. But even though I don't wear the blue pair yet, I think I prefer the colour of them over the green pair. My favourite colour is blue, and I love the way these look. I also love that the sole is slightly more translucent on this pair than on the green pair, but the only downside is they're a lot brighter than the green pair. And this makes them a little bit more difficult for me to wear, but maybe they'll calm down a bit once I've worn them in. But there's only one way to find out, I suppose. I better get wearing them. The next sneaker, I think, is the best sneaker pickup of 2023 for me, and it's the Comma Project's Achilles Low. I decided to pick them up in the light grey colourway, and I'm so glad I did. I do prefer them over the white pairs. I have owned a few pairs of the white Achilles Low in the past, but I do find these a little bit more versatile. I think they're easier to dress up. And if I'm not wearing my green Gazelles, then I'm normally in these. And for me, I don't think there's another sneaker out there that goes so well with anything I pair with them. But these sneakers last me for years and years, and they go with anything. So what else can you ask for from a sneaker? So the next sneaker I've got is the Onitsuka Tiger GSM, or the Onitsuka Tiger, how it's actually pronounced. Now I love this shoe, I think it looks absolutely beautiful, but I haven't worn it as much as I thought I would. I thought I'd be in these all the time when I bought them, but I do wear them, but just not that much. I think they remind me a little bit of the Nike Air Force One, and that's not a style I'm currently going for. But I've got nothing negative to say about this shoe. I think the quality's fantastic, I think the price is fantastic for what you're getting, and I think they're a great looking shoe. So if you like this kind of style of shoe, then I can't recommend these enough. Next up, we've got my Maison Margiela replicas. Now these are the most expensive pair of sneakers that I own, but luckily when I got these, I managed to get quite a lot of money off them. And I think these shoes look amazing with the right fit, but they don't go with all my fits, not like the Achilles Low. But I think a pair of Gats are always great to have, and although they're a minimal sneaker, I think the details on them make them a little bit more interesting. But the good thing about these is they seem to last forever. They look great once they're worn in, which I'm really happy about because I don't want to have to replace these anytime soon. Next up, we've got the white Vans Authentic. So I've mainly worn these shoes on holiday with a pair of shorts and a pair of white crew socks. The shoe is basically a blank canvas, so they will work with most things, but I like to wear them with shorts best. And my pair are actually the Anaheim DX44 version rather than the regular Vans, because I'm pretentious and I wanted to tell people I had the Anaheim version. I'm only joking, I might be a little bit pretentious, but that's not why I picked these up. The Anaheim version is just a little bit more sturdy, and I prefer the way they look as well. It's only a subtle difference, but I can tell the difference, and there he goes being pretentious again. But I always seem to have a pair of Vans Authentic in my wardrobe. They're so versatile, and they don't cost a huge amount. I've also got a black and white pair of the Vans Volt Authentics, but I only wear those to the gym. They're pretty worn out now, so yeah, they're strictly gym shoes. And next we move on to another one of my most worn sneakers over the years, the Converse Chuck Taylor 70. Now this shoe kickstarted my YouTube channel, so so it will always hold a place in my heart. They're an absolute classic, they look great, and we probably all know about these by now. They're such a simple shoe to style, they go with anything, and depending on what you wear with them, they can give off a completely different look. And all those things for me is the sign of a great shoe. And for the warmer days, I've got a pair of the Chuck 70s in the natural colorway. Now, a lot of people have said they can't get this colorway where they live, but if you can't get this pair, then just get the regular off-white pair. They look pretty much the same. The only difference is the regular pair have the stripes around the sole, which is a nice touch. The next shoe I've got is another pair of Common Projects, and it's the B-Ball Low. So these are actually one of the oldest pair of sneakers I have. I've had these for about 6 years now, I think, and they still don't look bad. The sole is yellow, which you'd expect to see on a shoe this old, but apart from that, they're in great shape. Now, I got these back in the day when I was only wearing Common Projects, and I wanted another pair to wear other than the Achilles Low, so I got a pair of these. So these shoes have a slightly higher profile than the Achilles Low, and they are a little bit more sporty looking, so I don't wear them as much as I wear the Achilles Low, but they're still nice to have. Next up, we've got one of the hottest shoes right now, the Adidas Samba. Now, everyone probably knows about this shoe. You've probably got a pair of these shoes yourself because they're everywhere at the moment. And there's a reason for that. They're a great looking shoe and they're really easy to style, but I don't really wear my pair at all. Mainly because I don't find them comfortable, and I do find myself going for my Gazelles over these every single time. But I think these were my first pair of Adidas in this style, so I wore them more back then, but yeah, these days it's all about the Gazelles for me. And another shoe I've got that's very similar to the Sambas is the Adidas Handball Specials. And I do actually find these more comfortable than the Sambas, and I do think they look a little bit smarter as well. But again, if I'm going for a pair of Adidas in this style, then I'm 100% going for the Gazelles. But before the Gazelles, I was wearing this shoe a lot. I wore them a lot in 2022, and I do think they're a great shoe. So if you want something similar to the Sambas that are a little bit more comfortable, that not as many people have, then check these out. Next up, we've got the Mexico 66 from Onitsuka Tiger in the black and white colorway. Now, this shoe is a funny one. A lot of people hate this shoe in this colorway, and I completely get it. You'd think you can't go wrong with a black and white shoe, but in this model, the black and white can look ugly sometimes. And this is one of those shoes in my collection that I won't wear much, but with the right outfit, they'll be the perfect shoe. So I'm glad to have them in my collection. I think they look amazing with an all black fit, and I do find them surprisingly comfortable. I do want to get these shoes in another colorway as well, but I'm trying not to buy shoes at the moment. I feel I'm already covered with what I've already got, so I don't need any more shoes. But yeah, thinking about these shoes in other colorways is making me want to get them, so let's move on. So we've got my Acne Studios slip-on sneakers next. So this pair of shoes are my sloppy shoes. When I can't be bothered to tie up some laces, then I just slop these on. Now, I always used to have a pair of Vans slip-ons in my collection when I was younger, so I wanted something a little bit more sleek looking, a little bit more grown up, so I got these. Now, I did get these at a massive discounted price, and I don't think I'd pay full price for them. Well, I know I definitely wouldn't, but I like having them. But I think a pair of slip-on sneakers are always useful to have. If you need to pop to the shops quickly to get some milk, then you can put these on. If you're on holiday, they're great. Or if you can't be bothered to do your laces up, then they're great for that too. Next up, we've got a shoe that I've had for a very long time, but it's the Reebok Club C85 TV version. Now, I go through phases with this sneaker. Sometimes I'll wear it a lot, and then sometimes I won't wear it at all. And it all depends on what trousers I'm wearing. Now, even though this shoe has a fairly low profile, I do find them a little bit chunky looking for some reason. They do look a little bit too rounded and clumsy at times. I think they look great with a fuller length, more relaxed fitting trouser, and I haven't really been wearing those kinds of trousers recently, so I haven't been wearing these. But they're a classic shoe, and I'm sure I'll wear them again, and I always seem to have a pair of these in my collection. Next up, we've got the Vans Skate High. Now, this shoe can make you look like you're trying to dress like a teenager, but if you wear it with the right outfit, I think they can give off a great look. But these days, if I am going for a high top, then I'll normally wear a pair of Chuck Taylors or a pair of boots that I've got coming up. But I've still got a soft spot for this shoe. So next up are my running shoes, and it's the Nike Streak Fly. Now, I know these are massively overkill for running a casual 5K twice a week, but I really do love these shoes. They're really comfortable, they don't cause me any problems when I'm running in them, they don't rub anywhere, and they allow me to go as fast as I can. So what else do you want from a running shoe? Well, a faster 5k would be nice, but the shoes aren't to blame for that. And if you're a runner, what's your fastest 5k time? Let me know in the comments. Mine isn't great, it's 19 minutes 30, but I'm not a runner. I just do it to burn some calories after an upper body workout, but I do really enjoy running. So I'm going to move on to boots now, and I've only got one pair, even though I love boots. I think I will be adding 1 or 2 pairs to my collection this winter, but for now, I'm really happy with what I've got, and it's my pair from Veron. Now, I picked these up at the end of 2021, I think, and I didn't wear them that much back then, but I wore them a lot last winter. I pretty much lived in them. And to be honest, I still wear these in the summer when the weather allows it, and that's quite a lot in the UK. Us Brits just seem to love to moan about the weather, don't we? When it's too hot for us. And when it's too cold for us. Never happy. But I've talked about these a lot on the channel. They're made from apple leather, and everyone always asks me, how do they hold up? And my answer is always the same. They hold up great. They have for me anyway. But I love the details on them. I love the text on the side. I love the chunky sole. And I love that not many people have them. But yeah, in 2024's video, I think I will have some more boots by then. But let's move on to shoes next. So first up, we've got some shoes that I've had for absolutely ages. And I have been wearing them a little bit more recently. But it's my GH Bass Weegens. A little story with these. I originally bought the black pair myself. I posted them to my Instagram feed. And then the brand saw it and then asked if I wanted to work with them, and I said yes. And then through that work, I got the black and white pair and the brown pair. I wear the brown pair the least, but all pairs come in handy, or should I say footy. But these are great looking loafers and great entry looking loafers. So if you want to dip your toes into loafers, literally, then these are a great pair to start with. And for a smarter pair of loafers, then I've got this pair from Morehouse. So these are my go-to shoes when I've got a dressier event, but it's not so dressy where I need to wear a suit. And this was another pair of shoes that I got through some work on Instagram, and the quality is great on them. Now, although I do really like these loafers, if I had to choose one pair of smart loafers, I don't think I would go for these. The problem is the pairs that I like are ridiculously expensive, and I don't feel comfortable spending that kind of money on a pair of shoes. So Gucci, if you're watching this, then I suppose I'd be happy to work with you over on Instagram. So if you do want to work together, then hit me up. Cheers. The next shoe I've got is the Clarks Wallaby. Now, I don't actually feel this shoe is 100% me or my style, but I do still wear them from time to time, and I do still love them. But they're such a classic shoe, and maybe I'll wear them more further down the line, but I wore Clarks as a child, and it's nice to have a pair in my collection now too. So we've got my smartest pair of shoes next, and it's this pair from Loke. So these are the shoes that I do wear when I'm wearing a suit. When I want something smart, something classic, then I go for these. I think it's always a good idea to have a pair of Oxford shoes in your wardrobe, even if you haven't had to wear them yet. As I get older, I like to have smarter pieces in my wardrobe just so they're there just in case I need them. It's happened so many times in the past where I'm invited to a smart event, I've got nothing smart, and I panic and try and scramble together a smart outfit, and it always looks bad, especially because I always leave it right to the last minute to buy anything. But a decent pair of Oxford shoes, they'll last you for years and years, so it's never a bad time to buy a pair. If you enjoyed this one, please drop it a like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. See you later.